More than smoke, cash in the trade with the truth we hold. Dark telling dark, real men talk about the weight on they souls. More than smoke, cash that light, but we don't hide when the days feel cold. More than smoke, we burn it down so we can build back whole. It's just more than smoke.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of More Than the Smoke, where status disappears but the smoke stays the same. I am your host, Jamon. Welcome to Tampa, Florida. That's where I am right now. Specifically in the city, or what did I say? The neighborhood of Ybor City, Florida. And man, it is awesome. It is awesome. It's awesome. I'll be here for a few days. This is the first installment of a couple of videos in terms of content that I'll be making for my time here. I wanted to go ahead real quick and share some sticks that I just purchased at one of many of the cigar lounges here. And I do plan to continue to visit some more and purchase some more sticks. So let me back it up. Because there's a lot. I don't want to take too much time on this particular video, but there's a lot of back context that in terms of what brought me here, how I got here and stuff. Since the beginning of this year, 2026, I have been trying to figure out what I was going to do for my vacation. My intent was to be on somebody's beach. My intent was to be at somebody's resort. But finances dictated otherwise. And it's all good, what surrounded, a lot of what surrounded my trying to figure out what I was going to do was a lot of doubt, was a lot of fear. I'm just kind of getting right into it. But at some point in this video, I'm going to pause and share a few of the sticks that I purchased. And as I go throughout the next couple of days, I will be doing that. And so, as I was saying, a lot of what surrounded me trying to figure out what I was going to do, once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to afford to go on a cruise or to fly out of the country and be in Jamaica or Punta Cana or something like that, I started trying to figure out, like, okay, well, what else can I do? 2024, I went to Costa Rica. That was my first time. Traveling solo, one, and two, traveling to another country by myself, right? But I'm so glad that I did. I enjoyed it. And then last year, last year was one of those years where I couldn't afford to, well, in a sense, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to, fly out of the country like I would have wanted to do. And so I made the decision to play tourist, right? And I did a staycation, visited some museums and all that kind of stuff in Atlanta that for almost the 20 years that I've now been in Georgia, I had never been to any of the museums. Didn't take advantage of that, working and family and all that kind of stuff. And so last year, that's what I did. I took a whole week's vacation and went to, various museums and, just enjoyed myself. But I'm going to keep it real. At the same time, I wish I would have did more right? I wish I would have did more, but slowly I was working towards that, right? I was working towards having the courage to do more, right? So come this year, 2026, like I said, I had made it up in my mind. Man, I'm going to be on somebody's beach. I'm going to be on somebody's resort. Hands down, I'm not, taking no for an answer. However, as I said, finances dictated otherwise. And I realized, I wasn't going to be able to do that. So I started trying to figure out other places, other things that I could do. And I started thinking, well, maybe I'll go to, I don't know, maybe I'll go to Texas, or I was thinking, maybe I would get in my car and go to Charlotte or something like that. Now, what also, well, one of the important things, right? Ironic, unexpected things that took place this year, right? Towards the beginning parts of this year, a lot of stuff started going on in the nation, politically and all that kind of stuff, where it was causing people, what's the word it was causing havoc, right? It was havoc being caused around the nation. It was causing people to make it difficult, right, for them to travel, right? Especially travel outside of the United States and sometimes return, right? And once I saw that little trend, I was definitely like, okay, yeah, I'm not going nowhere. I got my passport. I'm passport ready to go. But once I saw that people was having difficulty returning back into the country, because of issues, things that was going on at the airport, TSA wasn't getting paid. And so there were long lines and all that kind of stuff for the simplest trips, as well as, people coming far, from out of the country or whatever. There was difficulty. So with that said, I was like, I didn't want to get caught up in that. And so it made me think all the more like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I spoke about there being fear, right? I was full of fear. I'm kind of talking about a lot here because to date, the channel still hasn't gone public, and I'll figure out what episode / session this is somewhere in the video. It's all good. So the channel still hasn't gone public. I have not made any content in the last couple of weeks. Still slowly but surely, taking my time. I'm just simply taking my time to work on trying to, do what I need to do in order for the channel to go public. Figure a couple of weeks have passed as the date of this video. A couple of weeks have passed and I hadn't made any content. The channel is pretty much ready to go. I just, again, as I've stated in previous videos, I have some last minute details to make, and then the channel will be able to go public. But it'll be worth it. I'm not even tripping. It's going to be worth the wait for anybody who will in the future come across this content, and that you'll enjoy it. It'll be worth it. So I'm not even tripping. All that said, I started, like I said, just trying to figure out, man, well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? All that kind of stuff. The theme, or maybe that I didn't want to connect to, was not doing anything. I didn't want to end up just staying home, kind of doing another staycation or whatever. No, it was important that I get out of my apartment and I go somewhere. And so, I started thinking about different places or whatever. Let me pause here and say I'm so grateful for the cigar culture that I've now been a part of almost a year this year. It has brought, it is my source of community. It is, I've learned a lot, been learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about life. Because for me, in this cigar culture, it's not just about smoking cigars. I'm a very analytical person. I'm a very reflective person. And so, I call each of these videos episodes and sessions, right? So whatever this is, episode, session, whatever. I call these sessions, right? Smoking sessions, where I come on here and we talk cigars and we talk conversations. And so there's been a lot of conversation. There's been a lot of me reflecting and all that kind of stuff, trying to figure life out, trying to figure out this season. Along with that, I'll say that there's been a lot of, I'm going to just keep it real and not go into too much detail, but keep it real. There's been a lot of worry on my part. There's been a lot of almost to the point of obsession. Oh man, I'm lonely. I want companionship, and I want to be married and all that kind of stuff. But what began to happen later, right? Talking as in a few days ago, maybe even a few weeks ago, I had to start analyzing the attention that I was constantly giving myself and giving the whole concept of wanting a wife and wanting companionship and all that kind of stuff. And I realized that I was missing out on life and other aspects of life. And so I made the decision to stop focusing on that. Oh, where am I going to be and where am I going to be and will it be in those different places where I'm at that I'll find my wife? I stopped focusing on that and started focusing on enjoying the season of life that I'm in, right? Giving myself permission to live, right? And that brought on excitement about where I was going to spend my vacation. Okay, I'm here in my hotel room, so I don't know if it'll be able to be heard or whatever in the background. That's the air conditioning. I thought I turned it off. It's all good. Hopefully it won't overpower what you may be that you're hearing me say. So getting to it, that began to my choice and decision to stop worrying about that brought on more excitement then about, okay, well, where am I going to go for my vacation? The focus is not going to be on, I hope I find my wife there, or maybe I'll meet somebody. Nah, the focus became, I'm going to enjoy the season that I'm in, right? I'm going to give myself permission to live. And in the interim of things, if I should meet someone, okay. But if I don't, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get excited about life. And that's what I did. And so I was, where I started in talking about this right here was to say, I am grateful to the cigar culture, right? Because of that, all of the content, cigar content creators that I follow, on YouTube, those guys be giving up mad gems. They be giving up mad information, right? Sometimes I'm not just looking at a video, enjoying their content. I'm listening, right? I'm listening for gems that they might, put out that informs me of information and knowledge and stuff that I did not know. Hence, that then led to my wanted to be able to do a shout out to these particular content creators of the channel. Maybe in the next video, in the next couple of days, I'll have that and I'll be able to give that shout out to those guys. I was watching this video of these two guys. You know what? Hold up. I can let me go and grab it. I can do that. Let me pause here. Okay, and I'm back in the building. Shout out. I want to give a special shout out to WP Cigars. I was watching, just so happened to click on a video, right, that showed up on my YouTube feed, and got to watching this video, and these guys started talking about Ybor City, Florida. And I'm like, what is Ybor City? I had never heard anything about it, had no idea that it even existed. And these guys it's like two videos where they're talking about, one is where they're talking about, let me see, Ybor City, it says, what Ybor City was really like, right? So apparently they were there for a couple of days. They were here, because that's where I'm at. They were here for a couple of days with their wives and I guess their staff or whatever. And they visited these different cigar lounges here in Ybor City. So without trying to claim that I know anything, Tampa, Florida appears to be one of, and I invite you, future subscribers and those of you who've come across the channel and like this content, and hopefully you will like, share, subscribe, and push the notification button when I upload videos. I'm trying to get back to what I was just saying. They were talking about what Ybor City was. I had never heard of the place. I'm trying to go back and then I'll come forward to where I was. Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida apparently is one of the premier cities here in Florida that is known for the cigar culture, right? It's a huge cigar culture here in Tampa, Florida. And Ybor City is one of those neighborhoods. That's what it's. I just spoke with a police officer down in the lobby of the hotel, and he was telling me a little bit about Ybor City. Ybor City is like a neighborhood of Tampa, Florida. And when this is one of the things he said, when people talk about Ybor City, specifically they're talking about 7th Ave. 7th Avenue is the stretch of blocks of bars, cigar lounges, places to eat. It's the happening place. It is, I would say, and I may be wrong in this, but I would say 7th Ave of Ybor City is like, if I'm not mistaken, Canal Street in New Orleans, right? Bourbon Street in New Orleans. It's the happening spot. People who are into cigars or whatever come here, who are locals, right? Local customers, and then, or native customers, native people who live here in Tampa. And then those, people come from out of town or whatever, who knows, come from around the world to come here. I got to listening to that, right? I peeped it, right? My father-in-law used to say, more gets caught than taught. I caught that. That was a gem. I caught that. Like, whoa, Ybor City, Florida. I'd never heard of it. Yo, that might be something to do. And so I started listening more, and the more I listened, the more excited I got. And I started making mental preparations that, or decision that I think I'm gonna go check this Ybor City out. And see what it's all about. Again, there was in the back of my head, though, there was fear. There was, oh, I don't know if I can do that or not, or, just nervousness, right? Long story short, I'm so glad that I had the courage and just making the decision, making it up in my mind that I'm not going to end up at home. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to pack my car, pack some clothes, and I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive down to Ybor City, Florida, Tampa, and I'm going to get a hotel room, all that. And I did that. And I experienced so much nervousness, right? In my reflective moments, I will confess this, that I have always associated, and this speaks to my past, as well as my present, right? In terms of how far I've come and to where I am. I've always associated, because of my upbringing as an adult, and in the environments and the places in which I've lived, people I have interacted with and known throughout my life. I always associated religiously. I always associated nervousness, right? A sense of being nervous with, oh, this means that whatever it is I'm trying to do, if I feel nervous about it, I interpreted nervousness to be, oh, it's not God's will for me to do this. Oh, I need to back away from this. I don't need to do this. I shouldn't do that. But I've learned over time that excitement about new things and nervousness, they ride in the same car, right? They sometimes go hand in hand. In that I was excited at the same time I was nervous, because I was getting ready in the mental preparations of this trip. I was getting ready to make I was getting ready to break another pattern. Right? I was getting ready to break another pattern in my life. The first pattern that I made in my life was when I broke the pattern of being, I say, antisocial. What I really mean is, when I broke the pattern of staying in my apartment, for weeks on weekends, for weeks at a time. I work Monday through Friday. On a Saturday, I'll grab me something to eat. And then most times, for quite some time, I would be in my apartment from Saturday until Monday night, when it was time for me to go to work again, with the exception of going to church on Sunday or whatever. And it wasn't until I broke the habit, or first of all, I realized that ain't nobody coming for me. Right? Ain't nobody coming and knocking on my door saying, hey, we are community. Do you want to come and join us? That was not happening. If I wanted community, I had to go out and get it. And so the first pattern that I broke was leaving my apartment. And, first of all, I got serious about the fact that I wanted to start smoking cigars. And again, it was from that standpoint that, well, ain't nobody coming to get you, bro. If you want community, if you want to do this thing, you're going to have to go out and get it. There's a scripture that says, he that wanteth friends must first show himself friendly. So if I wanted it, I had to go out and get it. right? And so that was the first pattern that I broke, in that I left my apartment one night, went down to what has now become my home lounge, went down to Cigar City Club and introduced myself, and became intricate, or whatever. Maybe that's the wrong word, intricate, but became involved in that environment. That became a regular thing for me. Whether it was Saturday night or Sunday night, I was down at Cigar City Club. And shout out to Cigar City Club and the beautiful staff there in Sandy Springs. They always make me feel welcome and glad that I came. And so that was the first pattern that I broke. Left my apartment, and I went down there, and then I ventured out and went to another lounge. There's another cigar lounge that I started to frequent. Well, my bringing it forward, my coming here was the breaking of a second pattern, because I could have easily chose to just stay home. I could have allowed for fear to grip me, such that I wouldn't have made a decision to, again, not just leave my apartment. I got in my car and drove down here to Tampa, Florida, from Georgia to be here in Ybor City, Florida. And I'm so grateful, that I did. I'm gonna kind of cut here. Hopefully during the post-production of the making of this, I'll be able to blur it and I'll be able to go into something else. That's really what I want to do. So I'm gonna pause here, and then I'm gonna start another segment part. So, okay, now I want to switch. I want to pivot, and I'm here. I arrived here this morning at a little after 11 o'clock. I wasn't in a hurry to get here. I took my time. I went to Buc-ee's for the first time by myself. I have been experiencing one-off interactions. I've been having one-off experiences, because there's a lot that I'm doing for the first time in my life, and it's exciting. At the same time, it's a little scary. It's a little daunting, but I'm grateful that I'm making my way. I'm pressing my way. I'm grateful that I was courageous enough to come down here and everything. That said, got here this morning, and I had no idea, right? Once I got here in my room, got myself situated, I beeline down to 7th Ave. And what I found ironic about my going down there, right, this morning, was the time that I got here was around the time that a lot of the lounges opened up on 7th Ave, right? Some were open already, but a lot of the other ones, and not just the lounges, but bars and whatever else, they were just opening. So whereas I thought maybe, I don't know, I was going to be late, nah, I was right on time. But God, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to share, I want to just kind of pivot, share these sticks that I purchased. These are the first of some sticks that I purchased. I plan to purchase some more. I might smoke one or two of them. But real talk, what I did was I brought my own sticks from home that I was going to smoke. And then my plan, once I got here and started thinking, was my plan is to buy sticks here in Ybor City, and I would take them back home. And then in future videos, I'll be smoking those sticks, introducing those sticks, and smoking those sticks, and doing reviews on them, and talking and all that good stuff. So I got 4 cigars here. Those of you who are also a part of the cigar culture, or even new to the cigar culture, look up Ybor City, Florida. Ybor City, Florida. Look that up. You might be fascinated, and you might want to come here. It's definitely worth it. There are a lot of lounges, cigar lounges here. I want to kind of note several of them. One of them, did I go in there? I think I went into one of these, but it was another one that, again, I didn't know was down there. It had the way it came up on Google Maps was it was a lounge and cafe. So I figured, hey, let me kill two birds with one stone. I wanted to get something to eat and then smoke some cigars or whatever. Come to find out, when I got there, they don't do that. Matter of fact, a lot of the lounges down there, they do not have food and alcohol and cigars. They do alcohol and cigars. Or some of them, one of them I went into, they do coffee and cigars. They don't have food. So it was all good. I went down to, I ended up at King Corona Cigars, again, down on 7th Ave. Man, I was in there for a couple hours. I lost track of time. Vacation to do that to you, right? I lost track of time, and went up in there and visited their humidor, blessed the lounge. You know what I'm saying? I blessed the humidor and purchased some sticks. So I want to go over those sticks right now. Let me see. Let me try to bring up one of them, or actually bring up two of them. I don't want to go too much into it, but I just want to highlight them in that I'm going to show them here, and then at a later time, when I take these sticks back home at a later time in some future videos, I will be representing those cigars again, smoking them and reviewing them, and we'll have some good conversation, right? All right, so be right back. All right, and I'm back. Okay, so King Corona Cigars has their own line of cigars. It is called the La Flor de Dozora, and they have that, and then they have another. I don't know if I'm saying it right. They have another line of cigars called Calacho Reserve. So I'm gonna show both of those. All right. So this is what I picked up in the. Let me just do it like this. These are the sticks that I picked up in their humidor, right? Let me see. Trying to remember. I think this is okay. So this has a little pepper in it. I think this is like a Corojo, and this is a Maduro, and it doesn't have any pepper in it, if I'm not mistaken. So look forward. I definitely gonna look forward to smoking. Try to get this right. Smoking these sticks. They're from Costa Rica, and they are medium to medium full. And then the next ones that I got were, I actually wanted to bring them up. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm back. Okay, so these next two one is a Connecticut, and then the other one is a Maduro Torpedo, and they are called the Calacho, right? This is the Connecticut, and this is the Torpedo. I think these are 5, maybe 6. I think this is like 650, probably 52, 54. So I picked these up. This is one of their like top lines within their humidor. These sticks are native to Ybor City, and I look forward to smoking them. They are from, I think they're from Costa Rica or Cuba. It actually says Cuba Rica. Not sure what that is. Cuba Rica. I don't know. Excuse me. So I'm looking forward to smoking those. These are the first of several assortment of sticks that I purchased. This is, hopefully this, I don't know, this not gonna get me in no trouble or nothing like that. This is their bags, right? These are their humidity bags that they will provide you with when you purchase their sticks. And I look forward to doing a review on each of those cigars to talk about them. And, you know, hopefully if you have, those of you who are viewing the content, if you have smoked, oh man, hold on, let me be careful. I'm messing up here, hold up. I gotta be real careful, man. It looks like part of the leaf is starting to come off. Dang it. All because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Hold on. Gotta be real careful. All right, let me just be careful. Whew. Last thing I need is for this thing to come apart or whatever. Okay, so if you have smoked these sticks before, if you've been here to Ybor City, Florida, share in the comments. Share your experience in the comments. As I said, these are the first of several sticks that I plan to purchase while I'm here, and take these back home and smoke them at a later time. I'm so excited to be here. I am elated to be here. This is how I look at my vacation. I said this the last time, I think when I was in, actually last year when I did my staycation. I had no place to be but where I wanted to be. That's the same thing I'm experiencing today in being here in Florida. I ain't got nowhere to be but where I want to be. I ain't on nobody's time but my own. Have no agenda, I have no schedule. Man, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? My vacation this year is about relaxing, eating, smoking cigars, and reflecting. You know what I'm saying? Reflecting on my life, how far I've come, how far God has brought me. I didn't get here by myself. God brought me as far as I've come. Let me also say this, and I'll kind of bring this particular video to a close. What is significant about 2026 for me? 2026, two things. One, I'm here. It's May 31st. It's Sunday. And this time next week on Saturday, I celebrate my 55th birthday. And if it's the Lord's will, I will definitely be grateful for that, and look forward to experiencing that with my brother and some other folks. They're gonna come down to Cigar City Club, you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna do it up, you know what I'm saying, celebrate and enjoy ourselves. What's also significant about 2026 is at the end of this year, if it's the Lord's will, in September, I celebrate 20 years being in Georgia. I've been in Georgia just as long, right? I've been in Georgia 1 year. How do I say this? I left home when I was 19 years old. I left California at 19. So I had been in California for 19 years. Well, I've been in Georgia almost 20 years, 1 year more, right? In somewhere away from home, right? And I'm grateful. I don't have no regrets. I'm glad I stayed. I'm glad, Georgia has been good to me. Atlanta and the surrounding areas have been good to me. And more importantly, God has been good to me. I've come a long way, man. My life is full. My experience in life is full. I've experienced loss on several, several levels. And if you have watched enough of these videos, you've heard me speak about it before. I lost my wife. She passed away in 2022. From there, my in-laws. The lesson I learned in that was during that time in 2022 is that sometimes there are two events that either bring families together or tear families apart. That's weddings and funerals. And unfortunately, totally out of my control or whatever, the passing of my wife tore the family apart. And the connection that I once had with my in-laws, I have no more. But I've learned a lot. I don't necessarily grieve over that. But I know that. But to say this, I know that there was a purpose in it, right? The season of separation was necessary for me to become the person that I'm supposed to be, for me to do the things that I'm supposed to do. It was necessary that God caused us to separate. It's just sad and unfortunate that it was, behind, the passing or the loss of a loved one. My wife, their daughter. That said, I lost my wife. I lost another good friend in 2024, and then last year my dad passed away. So, man, I'm a part of the club. I don't say that like I'm the only one, but I've had significant loss. I've experienced significant loss. And then not only loss of loved ones in that they are no longer here, I've experienced loss of relationships. People that I just thought was going to always be with me, right? That was in that they started with me. I thought they would finish with me, but God would not have it to be so. And so there's been a lot of grief that I've been experiencing from the loss of my wife, loss of my friend, loss of my father, to loss of friendships. And then again, in the interim of things, learning a lot about myself. All right. I want to get off here because I don't want to be on here no hour or whatever. Hopefully I've said something that's been encouraging. This has been entertaining, and you, the listener, you, the watcher, subscriber, will come back and look at future, the next episode where I'll be talking about, more sticks that I will have purchased and showing those off or whatever. This is the first of a few while I'm here. I'm not gonna what I'm not gonna do is take up time making this content. What I'm here to do is enjoy myself, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the ambiance of being here, knowing that because I was courageous enough and that I stepped out on faith and I came here, I'm able to then experience all of what Ybor City has to offer. And this is the first, right? This is the first of many more trips, because my being able to do this trip and the new mindset that I have with traveling solo makes me excited about doing future trips, getting in my car, going to Charlotte, or getting in my car and going to Dallas, Texas, or, something like that or whatever. But to make it worth my while, maybe I go down there for a particular event, a show or something like that. And while I'm down there, I enjoy the sights. So I'm glad that I'm here. I'm going to continue to enjoy it. And I will be back in the next couple of days. I'm only here for a couple of days. So in the next couple of days, I'll make maybe 2 more videos where I show off the cigars, like I said, that I purchased and that I will be smoking in future episodes. And, we'll talk about it and stuff. Again, this has been More Than the Smoke, where status disappears, but the smoke stays the same. I am your host, Jamon. Hopefully I've said something encouraging to whet your appetite and cause you to be intrigued and anticipate the next future episodes. Continue to enjoy your day, your evening, your morning, wherever time you may find yourself in terms of when you came on or when you pressed play and began watching this video. May you just be safe, continue to enjoy yourself, be blessed, and I'll see you next time. Peace.